clear well, wastewater lagoons. We've got an intake. We've got a dam and an intake with 3 raw water pumps about a quarter of a mile down the road. And what we do is turn the pumps on up here, and it pumps the raw water from the creek. It comes in right here. This is the flash mixer. This is where the chemicals first get added to the raw water.
And what kind of chemicals are added?
We've got sodium permanganate, our coagulant, which settles the dirt out of the water, and that's all that goes in right here. Other points in the plant we have other chemicals. I'll be showing you those. And when it leaves, the water stays in here about a minute. It gets stirred real fast and mixed real good. Then it goes down this channel. It turns a corner up here. It goes down that channel and comes into our flocculator basin and 4 openings across there. What this basin is doing is slowly mixing the coagulant with the raw water, and it forms flock. See that stuff floating around the water? That's the coagulant attaching to the turbidity in the water. That's flock.
Yum!
And that becomes heavier than the water, and it settles it. That's what takes the dirt out of the water, the coagulant.
Okay.
That's really the second process. And you can see those paddles go up and down, slowly mixing.
Oh, it is slow.
It moves from this basin over to the settling basin. As you can see, as we get closer to the filters, closer to the building, the water will get clearer. A lot of it's already settled out from the flocculation basin before it ever gets into the settling basin.
Okay.
And while we're out here, I'll show you. We've got a 1.5 million gallon clear well. That's our own personal storage tank. And that's when we treat the water, we send it from the plant to the clear well and pump it out of the clear well to town. We use that water to backwash the filters, to hose and clean the basins. And that's our own personal storage tank. And that's our wastewater lagoon. That's where we send our sludge. When we clean the basins, like the flocculation basin, the settling basin, we send the sludge back to the wastewater lagoon. So that's what it does.
How often do they get cleaned?
We do it about 3 times a year. 3 or 4 times a year. Most time about 3 times a year. And like I say, as we get closer to the building, you'll see that the water clears up. It gets a little bit clearer. There's more and more turbidity or dirt settling out of the water. This basin here, we have what they call notched weirs. What this is doing is taking the top inch or 2 water off the basins and send them into the filters, which is the cleanest water, the water on top. This process I've shown you so far is supposed to clear up about 98% of the turbidity in the water. The filters do very little work. Water should be about 98% clean before it gets to the filters. Inside the building here are the 4 filters. When we get inside, I'll show you. We've got a little model of what they're made out of. It's gravel, sand, and anthracite coal on top. You can't tell by looking because it's so big, but it's about 500 gallons a minute going through each filter.
Wow.
That's just how fast it's moving, but it's so big. If you get this light right in the light in places, you'll see a swirl or something, and you can tell there's some movement. Like I say, they're so big, you can't tell.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's moving at all.
Now,
How
one-
deep? How deep is it?
Well, right below those wash ones is the bottom, so that's only
Oh, okay.
probably 7 or 8 feet deep. Now, every weekend we backwash the filters. When the plant's running, the water's going this way through the filters, and when we backwash the filter, the water comes this way, and it's cleaning the filters. We turn the surface wash valves on, and see those wash wands? That breaks loose the mat that's been formed on the filter. And the water comes up through the filter and spills over into these troughs. And these troughs takes it to the wastewater filter.
Okay.
And you should be surprised how dirty these are up to these running. So that's what all this is about.
So how long does it take for the water to get from
Good question.
One
How many
end.
people ask that question? About 4.5 hours.
4.5 hours
Yeah.
to get clean water?
From the flash mix to right here is like 4.5 hours. Not many people ask that question. That's a good question. You give a lot of tours and that question's never asked. And I don't ever remember to tell them. That's why I know it's never asked, because I can never remember to tell people that.
Okay, so I have to ask, why do the faucets just sit here and run?
Well, we have to get what they call a representative sample. If we waited till test time and turned the water on, it wouldn't be a representative sample. So all the time, all the hours that the plant's running, the water has to continue running. This is the influent or the raw water out of the creek. This is the combined. This is the water leaving the water plant after it's been to the clear well and it's getting pumped down. This is the water going into the clear well. So going into the clear well, leaving the clear well, and the raw water from the creek. That's what, and we have to test those. It's mandatory every 4 hours. We do it every 2 hours. 4 hours is too long to wait. Something you need to know within 4 hours. Third Street.
How much water do you pull in from the creek in a day?
We treat this time of year 1.8 to 2 million gallons a day.
Day?
Yep, per day. That's what Little Franklin uses, believe it or not. But the capacity of this plant is 5 million gallons a day, so we're just idle. This plant was built to serve the city and county both, and when I started, we were serving the county too. Now they get their water from White House, Tennessee, so we've only got the city. So in the winter time, dead of the winter, probably 1.6, 1.7 million gallons a day. Summertime, a little over 2 million gallons.
So what happens if we run into a big drought?
Well, back in '07 we did. We still had enough water to get by, but we were worried. We've got a lot of springs that feed Driggs Creek upstream. Plus Cagle has got a lake out here, and they turned some water in to Driggs Creek and helped us out. So that's a pretty good sized body of water at Cagle. And one stream, you can see the larger gravel, and then the smaller gravel, and then sand, and anthracite coal on top. That is what those filters are made of.
So it actually has to go through coal too?
Oh yeah. And the water goes this way when it's filtering, and when we backwash, the flow is about 9,000 gallons a minute going through those filters back this way, and it actually lifts this up and cleans it, has it in suspension, and then as we back the flow back off, it settles back down into place. Because this is heavier than that, it all falls back in place. But that's what our filters are made of.
Now that's all natural stuff.
It
Is there
is.
anything that makes a better filter than that?
Nope. We got that from Mother Nature. Now, this is not just sand you find on the beach. It's a special kind of sand that will catch more dirt and whatever that goes through it. And
All right, so water goes down the drain at our house. where does it go to from there?
Wastewater plant.
Okay. What happens to the water there? Not necessarily the process, but once it goes through the wastewater plant, where does the water go to from there?
Back into the creek.
Okay.
It's
Is
so
it-
clean. It has to be so clean that you could drink it. It's put back in the creek with no chlorine in it. It has to be disinfected before it goes back into the creek. But it's just a cycle. We draw water out, send it to you.
Mhm.
You use the water, send it to the wastewater plant. They put it back in the creek. We draw it out of the creek. It's just the way.